Welcome back to Bible Tales. You've probably heard of Gaza, it's always in the news, right? You might be wondering why it's such a big deal, especially when it seems like this small strip of land is always in conflict. But here's the thing. Gaza's story goes way back, thousands of years in fact. It's not just about politics or war, it's about history, culture, and even some mysterious prophecies that have people talking. First things first. Where is Gaza? It's this small strip of land along the Mediterranean Sea, sandwiched between Israel and Egypt. Sounds pretty peaceful, right? Well, it's actually one of the most fought-over places in the world. Today, it's home to about 2 million people, most of whom are Palestinians, but it's also in the middle of one of the world's longest-running conflicts of Israel versus Palestine. You might be wondering why Gaza is so important. It's not super big and it doesn't have a ton of resources, so why is there so much tension? To get that answer, we have to rewind time like way back to ancient history. Believe it or not, Gaza's been around since biblical times. That's right, this place has been part of some major stories in the Bible back in the day. Gaza was ruled by the Philistines. Yeah, those same guys you hear about in the Bible. They were enemies of Israel, and there were lots of battles between them. One of the most famous Bible stories involving Gaza is about a super strong guy named Samson. You've probably heard his name before. He's the man with the crazy strength, kind of like an ancient superhero. The story goes like this. Samson had this insane strength because of his special connection with God, but he also had a weakness for a woman named Delilah. When she betrayed him, the Philistines captured Samson, took him to Gaza, and threw him in prison. While he was there, they tried to humiliate him, but in one final act of strength, Samson brought down the entire temple where the Philistines were celebrating, destroying everything. Talk about an intense ending. That story might sound like something out of a movie, but it's actually a big deal in the Bible because it shows the tension between Israel and Gaza, a tension that's still going on today. This wasn't the only time Gaza was involved in the Bible, though. It shows up again and again, almost like it's a key player in a much bigger story. Here's where it gets really interesting. Some people believe that what's happening in Gaza today might actually be tied to Bible prophecies, predictions made thousands of years ago about the future. In books like Zephaniah and Ezekiel, the Bible talks about cities like Gaza being destroyed or left in ruins in the last days. For example, in Zephaniah 2 verse 4 it says, "For Gaza shall be forsaken, and Ashkelon a desolation. They shall drive out Ashdod at noonday, and Ekron shall be uprooted." Basically, it predicts that these ancient cities, including Gaza, would face destruction at some point in the future. Some people believe this prophecy could be linked to the ongoing conflict and what might happen in Gaza down the line, but that's not all. The Bible also talks about nations surrounding Israel and coming together against it. Some believe Gaza, being right next to Israel and involved in the conflict, could be a part of these events. In Ezekiel 38-39, there's a prophecy about a massive battle where nations unite to attack Israel. This has led some people to think that today's political struggles could eventually lead to something much bigger, like a global conflict that's been predicted for centuries. So what does this all mean for you? Well, it shows that Gaza is more than just a place in the news. It's part of a story that stretches back thousands of years. It's a place that has witnessed ancient battles, biblical prophecies, and modern-day conflict, and it could still have a major role to play in the future. Whether or not you believe in the biblical prophecies, there's no denying that Gaza has been at the center of a lot of important events throughout history. It's a reminder that sometimes, even the smallest places can have the biggest impact. Thanks for watching and see you on the next Bible Tile.